ThaBoxingvoice.com here at the top ranked gym with the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin Haney. So obviously you've already been to Australia, you did it one time. First rematch of your career though, so what's the mentality and the preparation like for this fight?
Yeah, the mentality hasn't changed. We still focus. I'm still going, in his backyard, like I'm not the champion, but it's still the underdog. I never really was an underdog, but still that mentality where I gotta go in and still, take what's mine, and it's not fully mine yet because I gotta go out there and show him that, it was no point in this rematch.
I think it's fair to say, given what you just said, the email champ mentality. I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
Why exactly are you saying that? Obviously, that's something that people were calling you when you were elevated to champion. Why is it something that you're choosing to, continue to play on and run on?
I mean, because, that's what motivated me. That they was not like, giving me my respect as a champion. So I had to, earn my respect. So now that I'm the guy with everything, with all the belts, it's the mentality, doesn't switch. I'm still got that email mentality, still something to prove, and still, got to show the world, how good I really am. And after this fight, they will give me my respect, and they will see they even though they give me my respect, they'll give me my full respect.
You think after this one, you crack the top 10, both ESPN and Ring Magazine somehow have left you out? Just your thoughts on that.
I think, I will crack the top 10 of the pound for pound list, which I should have already cracked the pound for pound on the list. But I think after this, once they show that how versatile I am, how, I beat him that way the first time, but how I could beat him a different way the second time, just shows how much, tools I got in the toolbox, how much skills I really have.
I gotta ask your thoughts. Obviously, Lomachenko was on Ring Magazine's pound for pound list, and yourself and the editor-in-chief, Doug Fisher, obviously had a back and forth on Twitter. Did it bother you? Did it bother you seeing Lomachenko crack their top 10, even though he doesn't hold any belts? He's not even the top-ranked lightweight fighter in their rankings.
Yeah, see, that's what, it wasn't just about Lomachenko. I don't want to make it up just about Lomachenko, but yeah, that did play a big part in it, that, a guy who's not even number one in his own weight class is on their pound for pound list. It just didn't add up. But at the end of the day, it's all politics, and the pound for pound list is just an opinionated list. It's made up. It's not real. How can you judge somebody off to be or to not be on the pound for pound list? It's all, about like what people preference and skills.
Subjective.
And what they it's just opinionated. So it is what it is.
Now, obviously, you have a task at hand, October 15th, and Lomachenko's making his return 2 weeks later on the 29th. All goes well. It seems like Bob Arum plans to put the winner of both fights on for the spring. Does Devin Haney make 135 next year?
We just gotta see. It's possible, very much possible. We gotta see how I feel this fight. We're taking it one fight at a time, and then once I'm victorious, and then we'll see what's next. But I can't overlook George Kambosos. He's proven that a guy like T.O. overlooked him, and he went in there and he beat him. So I gotta learn from that, and I feel like he kind of overlooked me with our fight, and I beat him. So I can't go in there and focus on the next fighter. Focus on him.
Would you make of him of his remarks? I believe it was a press conference where he was basically saying how the first fight he didn't have that kill or be killed mentality because he was a champion, and that now that he's back to underdog, that it'll bring a different George out. Do you really buy into that, or you saw more than enough in the first fight to know it's gonna be an easy night out?
I mean, he can't knock T.O. for making excuses, and then he go and make excuses. Him not having the right mindset, whatever the case may be. He said before the fight, he said he was in his prime. He said he was the best camp he ever had, and this and that, and he was more than ready. He was emperor. He was this. He was that. So he can't go back on that. You should stand on that. Win, lose, or draw, you should stand on what you said, and just said that the better man won that night. But this fight will prove to him And well, I think he's really the only one that believes that. So, because I was gonna say prove to him in the world, but you know, I think he's the only guy who believes that. Prove to him that I'm just a better fighter. I'm just the better man.
He says that, you know, if he doesn't win, that, you know, he may retire. Does that, when I heard that, I'm like, damn, it kind of sound like, you feel me, you got paid very nice and now you got one foot out the door. Do you see it that way, or do you think
no, I don't really see it like that. I just feel like, you know, he kind of feel like his back is against the wall type of thing. But I don't understand why he would want to retire anyways. He still got a lot a lot more in him, a lot of big fights he could still be in, a lot more money that he can make. And just because he loses to me, that doesn't mean that he can't beat other top fighters or, you know, still compete at the highest level. So I don't agree with that. I think he should, you know, still continue to, you know, fight and compete. He's young. He still got a lot of money to make, and yeah.
The first time you went to Australia, it was like wintertime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You still got to kind of see a little bit. Do you plan to enjoy a bit more? It seemed like you had a very good reception when you were out there and whatnot. Do you plan to see more while you're out there this time, or?
Yeah, for the most part, you know, I'm just gonna stay up, do the same thing I did last time. Just, you know, stay focused and, you know, stay to myself and my team, and, you know, I really was just relaxing most of the time that I was there. Towards the end, I was doing some shopping and stuff like that, but for the most part, I just was really just chilling.
Did you like the promotion? I think, at least from what we got to see, it seemed like, you know, the Australian folks on there did a really great job with the promotion once you guys got there. I know you guys were like at a shoe store or something like that.
Yeah, no, they did, you know, great promotion. I got a lot of love from the Australian fans and Australian people and all that. So the Muslims out there really showed me a lot of love out there. So yeah, I really had a good time, to be honest. Like, I didn't think I would have a good time. I really wasn't, like, didn't know what to expect. But now I know what to expect, and like I said, I had a good time.
Now, first time around, obviously your dad wasn't able to join you until the 11th hour, but you did have your brothers, obviously Little and BH Little and Sean were both there. So just wanted to ask, going back, you guys are fighting in the Rod Laver Arena, which is where the Australian Open is played. Just the thoughts of maybe going back years down the line to see your brother play there, or has that even crossed your mind yet?
Yeah, no, that'd be a dream. He just gotta stay focused, and hopefully one day he will be playing there. You know, inshallah, he will. And we both, inshallah, make history. You know, in at the Rod Laver Arena.
Now, that's years down the line, but something I feel that'll be closer is obviously the 140-pound division for you. I wanted to ask because, you know, past rivals of yours have made the move up from 35 to 40, and Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. Your thoughts on their performances at 140?
Both solid performances. I don't really feel like Teo, well, you know, it was a good comeback fight, I guess. I wouldn't say it was a comeback fight. He did what he was supposed to do to the guy that was in front of him, but the guy, you know, wasn't a top 10 opponent. But, you know, of course, he's coming off of a loss. He shouldn't be fighting somebody in the top 10, you know, especially with the kind of loss that he came off of, and, you know, just everything that is mine and everything. So, you know, they put somebody in front of him that, you know, he was supposed to look good against.
Do you think the Teo of old was back? Like, did you see the Teofimo that you had seen?
No, I don't think that he was the same Teo, but, you know, maybe he just need to get used to the 140 division and, you know, get acclimated and everything. I don't know.
And just because, like I said, that's not too far for you, did you happen to see the WBA belt Josh Taylor vacated was fought for? I don't know if you caught.
Yeah,
Albert Puello.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I heard about it though.
Okay, and saw you at the fights. Well, I didn't see you, but I saw that you were there supporting your boy Kevin Newman.
Yeah.
You know, just talk about his performance and just you know, the relationship.
Kevin, that's my boy. Me and Kevin been friends. Well, I've been knowing Kev since I was like 9 years old. Since I first started boxing, he used to drive me home and like pick me up, take me home after the gym, and all that. He really looked out for me like a big brother. So I'm always gonna support him, and I'm always gonna, you know, be there for him because he was there for me before I was anything. You know, he was a good friend to me, good like brother. So yeah, that's my boy.
This past weekend, also Pitbull Cruz fought. Did you happen to catch that?
No, I didn't see the fight, but I seen that he called me out.
So, I saw during fight week he there was a tweet that, he would obviously love to bring the title back to Mexico City. You responded, I want to some along the lines of like, what the fuck? Obviously, like, how's that going to happen if you're not fighting me and I got all the belts?
Yeah.
That led into you and Gervonta, having a little back and forth. Some tweets were deleted and whatnot, but just, man, that's a fight we all want to see. Obviously, you and Tank, and that's something that I feel like has built up for years.
Yeah, I mean, the fight has been built up for years, and at the end of the day, if he want the fight, he could have the fight because he's the WBA fake champion. He's not the he has the Mickey Mouse belt. So if he wanted to become my mandatory, he could become my mandatory. All you gotta do is go hit Gilberto, tell him, hey, we want to make this fight happen, and he can become the mandatory whenever he wants.
Now, Steven Espinoza chimed in, and I saw he had things to say on Twitter as well. He says that there is a date for December for Tank, that you have a fight in October, your promoter has other plans. You say, obviously, you're a co-promoter in your deal, you have say, and obviously you even went as far as saying, like, I'd be ready for December. They send you that offer. Is that 2-month turnaround realistic for you? All goes well in that George fight, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with George and, how that plays out. But obviously, if it makes sense, then, that's a much bigger fight than, that's the fight that we would, really focus on. But right now, George is the guy, and we can't look
overlook him. No, absolutely. Well, last thing on that situation, Gervonta did say something along the lines of like you're trying to be like him or something like that. Just your thoughts on that, and like, what do you think, or what do you feel that
I've been saying, they say everything but let's fight. He always seemed to say the most outlandish shit he could possibly say besides fighting. Like, he do anything but say he want to fight. So, I said what I said about that, and at the end of the day, we can make the fight happen if you want to make the fight happen. It is what it is.
Champ, last week for me, just your thoughts really quick on a couple big fights coming up. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, just wanted your thoughts on a couple big fights coming up this weekend. A big fight with the ladies, Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, old amateur rivalry in that one. Just your thoughts, and who you picking in that one?
Well, you said Clarissa and who?
Savannah Marshall.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I'm working with Clarissa. I've been knowing Clarissa since the amateurs. I'm always going to support her.
Now, co-main for that one, this one I'm excited for, Michaela May, Alicia Bumgarner.
Yeah, that's a good fight. That's a good fight right there. I've been knowing Michaela since Hit Factory days. She was training with Coach Al. I was training with Coach Al. I know Alicia, but I don't really know like too. I know her personally.
Mm-hmm.
My dad knows her personally.
Right.
But I can't say like I seen that much footage on her, so I can't really give you like a good detail or like how the fight will play out.
Got you. Next weekend, Canelo-Ggg 3. Especially Canelo coming off the loss. A lot of people think that he's vulnerable right now. How do you see that fight play out?
Wait, who?
Canelo-Ggg.
Oh, Canelo-Ggg. That's a good fight still, because I just think that Triple G still got a lot in the tank. Even though he hasn't showed it, I don't feel like he had the right guys to really show or like really get up for it. But I think obviously he's gonna step his game up against Canelo. It's hard to go against Canelo, obviously, just because he's just Canelo. So I think Canelo gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a lot closer than what everyone thinks.
So decision, you think it's another decision?
Yeah.
Okay, and lastly for me, just announced today officially, Jake Paul, Anderson Silva. I know you have a relationship with Jake. Just your thoughts on the fight and how that plays out.
Oh yeah, I'm going with Jake. I like Jake. Jake is a good friend of mine, and I'm always going to support him. And I just think De Silva just past his prime. Jake can punch. Silva is known for not having the best chin, but I gotta respect him. He's a legend in the fight game. But I just think that Jake beats him.
Champ, thank you very much. Appreciate it as always. October 15th here in America, the 16th in Australia. Tuned in, ESPN Rod Lava Arena, undisputed.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, champ.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.